All right, let's start off this hour. We're going to have Miss Wendy Lemke with bulbNEST. She was on the show, I think, early part of last year, and we kind of wanted to get a little update on her company. And so she's on the line right now. Miss Wendy, how you doing? How things been going on with you and your company?
They've been great. Thank you for having me again. I appreciate it.
Well, great. As I said, you was on the show a while back, and you guys were just trying to kick this off, and the product is called bulbNEST. But for our audience that might not be familiar with your company or you, can you tell us what is your background? I mean, but I hear you're from actually a construction family, right?
That's right. Actually, I spent about 30-plus years in corporate America, and my dad was actually a GC, designing and building custom homes back in the Midwest. So that's how all of us kids started. We were on job sites. We did everything from painting and insulating to any other odd job on that site. And I think that's where I picked up a lot of my problem-solving skills and being able to think outside the box.
Wow. And so pretty much you've been around job sites and seeing how construction projects are actually from its, say, planning stage, infancy stage, to implementation stage, to ordering the supplies, to actually figuring out how to do the job, all the little foundational things that you need. So that's pretty much what gave you your experience. Am I correct?
That's right. And that's what I took with me into the business world.
Wow. Great job. Now, it's called bulbNEST. Now, how did you come up with this this crazy idea at the time? It's not crazy no more, but at the time it had to be, because it's probably one of the most innovative products that I've seen. Going to the the hardware shows, and that's how I found you a couple of years ago. But it's come a long way, So tell us a little bit about it.
Well, this was the problem-solving situation. I had multiple surgeries, and I was on a knee scooter, and I went to the closet to get a light bulb, and I think like most people, those light bulbs are all what I call cattywampus on the shelf. I reached for the bulb, it slipped, it fell, and I broke a $20 halogen bulb. After I cleaned up all the shards, I, again, knew I had to find a solution. So I just figured I could go out the web and buy a container that held light bulbs. It didn't exist. And so then I decided to design the solution myself. And then with the help of a local 3D print shop, we actually printed a prototype. And from there, then I went out and got the bids and contracts, and we started a production process. So the construction business helped in designing and ultimately launching a product in the market.
So it's pretty much a situation happened to you. You said, hey, let me go find something to hold light bulbs. You went out there to try to search, couldn't find it, and said, okay, I'm sure I'm not the only one this has happened to, and maybe there could be a need for this type of little quirky, product. So I don't know how to explain it. And that's basically what happened, huh?
That's correct. That's exactly what happened.
So now, what makes the bulbNEST? Well, first of all, let me back off on that. How did you come up with the name? I mean, how did you figure it out? I mean,
well, we were trying to deal, with all the different storage containers. It was, how do you house it? And a light bulb, we were thinking about it, was like, well, a light bulb is like an egg, and an egg stood in the nest. And that's how we ultimately put the bulbNEST together. And a light bulb is fragile like an egg.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And, good story. That's how I got the name. It's a little nest of things. And, yeah. Now, what makes the bulbNEST really special, though?
Well, There's really a couple things. When I designed it, we made sure that it was a sturdy board, and in fact it's called a 32 edge crush test board, which means 32 pounds of weight can fall on it before it starts crushing the edge of the container. And that's a lot of weight on a shelf. The second thing is that it's a really bright color, and so it makes it very easy to find on a shelf or in a garage or basement. You can see the bright yellow, and you know it's your light bulb. And then the third thing for me was being able to control how you pull it off the shelf, and that's why we added the finger holes at the end of the box so that it's easy to pull off the shelf. You control it. The lid is on tight, so you don't have the light bulbs flying all over the place.
So what makes the bulbNEST eco-friendly, in your opinion?
Well, it is made here in the U.S., which was something that was obviously really important to me. But one of the things that I did was I selected a manufacturer who has a Sustainable Forestry Initiative designation for their plant. And what that means is that for every tree that's harvested for pulp, there are multiple saplings that are replanted in their forests. And then they follow a set of protocols for managing those forests to make sure that the pulp is harvested in an appropriate manner.
Okay. Makes sense. Now, who should use the bulbNEST, though?
Well, there's a number of different approaches. We think it makes a great and unique housewarming gift for a lot of people. Realtors can use them for client gifts, people who are downsizing or just getting started with home ownership. And it's even for people who are caught up in the home organization craze these days. They want to make sure that it's organized. It's not sitting in a bin that's overflowing with all those odd-sized bulbs.
Now, what's the feedback you've been getting from those that have purchased the bulbNEST?
Well, once people start using it, they love it. And in fact, I've been asked quite a few times why nobody came up with the idea earlier. They love that they can find the bulbs. They love that they can put them in different rooms in the house. The bulbs are right there. They're not running all over trying to find them. They like the fact that they're not rolling around on the shelves anymore and falling down. Same thing that I experienced initially when I designed it.
Now, where have the people been using it, say, around the house, though?
Well, that's interesting because about a third of the sales that we've had so far are what I call a multiple sales. People are buying 2 and 3 at a time. They seem to be putting them either in the basement, the garage, one on each floor of the house. Some, I've been told, have what they call seasonal bulbs, where they have, like the bulbs that they use in the wintertime versus bulbs in the summer, so they store them in there. That makes that easy for them to switch out for the seasons. Some rooms even have different bulbs throughout the house. The statistics are the average home in the United States has over 40 light sockets in their house. Most people have closer to 100. So there's a lot of light bulbs in a home. Some people have even put one in each room so that they know where to find their light bulbs.
Yeah, that's true. I do that in my home. Now, I always like to ask this question of new product inventors. I mean, it takes a real, from something that's on the drawing board to prototype to actually manufacture it and then actually sell it. It is a process, and it's a long process. It's a very educational process.
Oh, yeah.
What it's been like to be a new product inventor, though?
It's a wonderful experience. And I kind of understand what my dad said when he was building houses. You can always go back and see what you built and what you constructed. It's the same way with the product. When people buy it, you have that feeling. It's like somebody else is enjoying what you put together. It's a great experience. You meet a lot of different people. The manufacturing, the supply chain, all of the people are excited and they want to see you succeed. So you've got like your own cheering squad with you. And now from what I've learned, in fact, I'm helping other people get their products out on market, making introductions to the contacts I've made, and trying to help them avoid some of the mistakes that I've made along the way as well. So it's a really great experience. You just meet a lot of fun and good people along the way.
Oh, Wendy, let me ask you this now. Do you have any other products in development, though?
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, we've got one product that we're hoping to launch later this year. We have about 3 to 4 more in various development phases, from the sketchbook to doing the prototypes. You know, we've got some products we're trying to get quotes on from manufacturers now. And in fact, my nephew has been so fascinated with this process. He has a book full of ideas now that we're actually starting to review, and we might even be able to bring some of those to market. So we're starting them young.
Wow. Now, I guess we talked about feedback and things like that, and where the people have been using it, and why was it developed, but we need to find out how to learn more about the product, a little bit about your website and you.
Well, you can find it on my website, bulbNEST.com. It's also available at Menards.com and Amazon.
What is that website again?
bulbNEST.com.
Just spell it out, bulbNEST.com. Great. Well, Wendy, I definitely want to thank you for being back on, and check with us from time to time, and let us know how you're doing, and let us know how you're doing with these other companies you're trying to help out. Maybe we can give them some exposure, too, once they get in the development stage and distribution stage, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Wendy Lemke, she's with bulbNEST.